So we did inequalities with the less than symbol. I'm sorry, absolute value inequalities with the less than symbol, and now we're doing them with the greater than symbol. So a long time ago, another math teacher told me, said, think greater. I'll write it, greater. And so what happens is you have an absolute value, say you have x is greater than 3. Well, the absolute value of x is greater than 3. So that includes numbers, if I draw a number line, it includes numbers like, 3, or just after 3, and on up, right? Like 4, 5, 6, 3.1, 3.01, all of those numbers are bigger than 3, right? But because it's absolute value, sorry about that, because it's absolute value, you have to consider what's happening down here at -3. Well, we want the absolute value to be bigger than 3. So we want it to go, this way. Because numbers like -4, if I take the absolute value of -4, that's bigger than 3, because then I get 4 is bigger than 3, and that's true. Okay? So I get one going in this direction and one going in that direction. So it's an or situation. Greater. It's like one's going to the left and one's going to the right. So you go to the right, you say you take whatever's inside the absolute value and you make it greater than whatever the number is, or, and then you take whatever's in the absolute value and make it less than the opposite of that number. Okay? And then if it's an inequality you have to solve, then you solve each of those like that. Okay. The other thing is, here's the graph. How do you write the interval notation? Well, we've been practicing that it's going to go from -infinity up to -3. But then we have to skip over these middle numbers here. Like we don't want 2 or -2 or any of those. So we combine this with a union symbol. And then we're going to pick it up at 3 and go to infinity. Okay? So here it is in interval notation. Here's the graph. This is what we started with. So now we'll give you another example. So this one's a little more involved because the absolute value is not isolated yet. So the first thing I have to do is subtract 7 from both sides. So I get -2 times the absolute value of 3x plus 5 is greater than or equal to -20. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to divide by -2. And I get the absolute value of 3x plus 5. But I have to switch the inequality the other way, is less than 10. Okay, so it was a greater than symbol, but now it's not. So now it's a less than because I divided both sides by a negative. So this isn't going to have anything to do with greater. We're going to do the less than sandwich, where we sandwich it between the positive case and the negative case. And then we're going to subtract 5 from all 3 of them. So I get -15 is less than or equal to 3x is less than or equal to 5. And then I'm going to divide by 3. And so I get -5 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 5/3. And then I can graph that. So where's 5/3? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 5/3 is like what? 1 2/3? So it's about here, I'll say, 5/3. And it's going to get a square bracket. And then we're down here at -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 with a square bracket and everything in between. And then the interval is written square bracket -5, comma, 5/3 square bracket. Okay. So we thought we were going to get a greater than, but in the end it turned out to be a less than, so we did the less than sandwich. Hopefully the next video has a greater than.